Okay, this is Paul Huff. He just purchased and had this lift installed. It's very, very unique. It's all hydraulic, and he no longer has the need to drive his smart car up and down the rack, which is really, really important, especially in bad weather, because everything can get kind of slippery. And of course, it's very dangerous to drive your car up and down the rack, up and down the ramps, as a lot of people have seen in the past. So Paul has elected to go to the next step, which is the hydraulic lift. This is one of the first ones that this very unique builder has built. And Paul, his name, where he's located, the name of the company?
This is Tough Lift. They are in Rathdrum, Idaho.
And what's the limits on the lift? How much weight can it lift?
It'll lift 2,700 pounds.
2,700 pounds, which again is more than most are capable of, which you were very concerned about because you didn't want to be the lower end of on the limits and start having the kind of problems that people start to experience. So just the sound of the lift alone, you can hear the power. So this is of course how it all begins. And you come in here and you can see the electronics and how everything is mounted and all of the hoses and whatnot. Do you know what's going on in here, Paul? Can you tell us about what's going on inside there?
Here's the control for the fob here. You have an electric pump, reservoir, and you have flow control valves. So I can speed it up, slow it down.
Okay, so you can change the speed of how the lift actuates and moves. So that's pretty reassuring to be able to do that. Do you know most of the lifts, are they able to change the speeds? Do you know? Or
I don't know.
A very unique. Unique.
That I don't know.
Just not real sure of.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you have the cover that goes over it to protect it from weather and when you're going down the road. Take a look at the remote control. Show them the remote control. And how it works is just a simple up and down.
Yeah, up and down. That's all it is.
It doesn't actuate laterally. It's just going to keep going in the same direction.
Yeah, it moves lateral in direction.
So you got like 2 buttons for this thing.
Yeah.
So there's
simple.
up, and down. All right, so let's take a look. Let's walk around it and take a look at the other side and what we got going on here. So let's get it from a different perspective. Oh, look at the wheels. Tell us about the wheels, Paul. What's going on with this?
The wheels just catch the ground. They help with the angle as it comes off the truck.
So you have a preset length that you set them at for what you feel good about for as far as loading and unloading?
Yeah.
How important is it to have them set at a certain length? Does it change the angle a lot? Or?
It changes the angle. You'll see as it comes off.
Oh, all right. Yeah, show us that. And you got the wheels on the side. That's to help it slide out for the smart car?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's see it. And comes out. Oh, wow, look at that. Look at the upper mechanism, how it works up on top, you guys. How all the elbows and everything are actuating. Man, that's some heavy gauge iron and a lot of welding.
Well, it's all aluminum.
All aluminum. I see a big row of nickels everywhere I look. That guy knew what he was doing, didn't he?
Yeah, he can run the squirt gun.
He says he can run the squirt gun. I think that means something. Wow, look at that. Wow. How cool is that? Now, when you're loading the Smart, do you back it in or?
I back it in.
You back it in?
Because it has to sit between here in order to keep my spacing correct.
So do the tires actually, are those work as stops right here, these brackets?
It'll back into these.
Okay, so that's your stop when you're backing up.
Yep.
All right. And you have your straps for your tight. Oh, what's this back here? Take a look at this. Why don't you stand on the lift, Anna? Be careful. Don't trip. So is this a little storage compartment you have back here?
Yep.
So this is under the lift. Wow, look at that. I didn't even notice it. So you can put your dunnage back here, your straps, your racks that you're using. Do you know what gauge aluminum this is? Do I see 1/4 inch?
There's 1/4, there's 3/8, and there's solid tube.
So 1/4 inch is the thinnest, huh?
Yes.
Well, that's pretty heavy. Little starter, help you get up the bump.
Yep.
Cool. That's a significant storage. Was that originally part of the build, or did you guys add it on?
That was added on.
Was it?
As we all stared at things going,
how's this gonna work?
Look at all this dead space.
Yeah. So you had all the dead space and you guys put something together.
Yeah.
And the builder, the guy that was working on it for you, said, okay, we can do this.
Yes.
So he was very flexible while you were working on everything.
Yeah.
And you were able to work with him?
Yep.
Did he have a problem when you wanted to change something or to move anything? He was open to all of your ideas? Wow, that's a big deal. So nothing was set in stone when you got there?
No.
You had a starting point?
We had a starting point and we went from there.
How much of it did he have built when you rolled up in your truck? Because I know there were plans in advance, right?
It was pretty much built and then it was cut apart.
So he built it.
Then we took it apart.
Then you took it back apart.
In order to get the car in between the uprights. The rams are moved onto the outside instead of being tucked up on the inside.
Okay.
So, somewhat of that gives me the space for this.
So when you went in there, you liked what you saw, but it also needed to be changed to fit your needs.
Fit the
builder, and for the cars, and the builder was totally open to that.
Yep.
All right, I like that. You can go in and talk to your guy, and he'll change it for you. And of course, this is the gentleman that Paul worked with. And we'll put all of his contacts, his name, the name of his company, his location, his email address. We're gonna put that below in the comments, or a place where you guys can go to take a look, and in the descriptions where all the stuff is and where this guy is and what he did. So Paul's gonna go around and get the smart car, drive it around, and then we're gonna have to tie it down and strap it down. And it's just crazy the way this thing rides up on the coach. It's even scarier than maybe driving it up the rails like everybody else does. The difference being is that you're not in the car, and if anything fails or if anything goes wrong, you're not gonna get hurt, just the car. If anything ever goes wrong, as long as it's on a hydraulic lift. But when you're sitting in the car and you're driving it up and down the ramps, there's a lot to go wrong with that. You know, mechanically with the car, there can be a problem. The ramps could fail. And then if you do get it up there and everything's okay, then you have to be concerned with not falling off the truck while you're tying it down. These are all things that can go wrong, because Paul's gonna drive up on the lift, he's gonna strap it down on the lift, and then he's gonna sit back and he's gonna push the buttons. And this little lift right here, it's just gonna hydraulically lift the car up and set it on the rack, and then he's gonna tie down the lift, not the car, because he's already tied the car to the lift. This is cool. You guys, I want you to watch this. Watch it closely. All right, there you go. Okay, now sit back. Go up high and get back. Come on over here, Ann, and you can see how he's strapping it down. Go to that side if you can. Go on the other side.
I'll be there in a minute, Ann.
Okay. Yeah, you can see how he does this side. So not only do you have to hold the car down, you have to keep it from wanting to slide forward on the lift when it goes vertical, huh?
Yep. Well, the officer will tell you that you have to have 4 points of contact.
Four points?
The tie down.
The tie downs? So it's very important to have the tire wrap in the front, because when the car goes vertical, when it's going up, it needs something to hold it back, because all the vertical weight is going to be down. So it's one of the biggest things is to take care of the weight as the car's being lifted. Once the car's been lifted onto the truck, all he has to do is secure the lift to the truck. The car's already been tied to the lift, so it's fine. So there's no climbing up and down the truck while you're tying down the car. You can tie the car down here, which of course just makes a world of difference. It's a lot easier and it's a lot safer. All right. This is where the legs are coming in front, huh?
Yep.
That 5-foot extension changes the angle of how the lift works as it's lifting the car. That's probably a 60-degree angle. That's crazy, and that's what the straps are for, to hold it onto the lift. It's very important that it be strapped down properly. Wow. Now, that was nice. That was really, really nice. The lift wasn't straining at all. It wasn't working very hard. It wasn't even near capacity, you could tell. So you're well within the limits of the lift. And the legs made a big difference. Yeah. How do you feel about it?
Oh, I like it.
And your purpose and your reasons for doing it? I imagine you had quite a few reasons.
Well, there's a safety issue for getting up and down off the back of the truck.
Uh-huh.
This allows us to stop in a rest area and go to someplace, dump the car on the ground, not have to unhitch to get up between to get the car off.
Right.
We can just shove the car off, go do whatever, and come back. Or in an emergency, the car can come down and go get parts and pieces.
Right. I mean, the safety issue is just such a big part of all of this, and especially in bad weather. If you were in wet weather or snow and you're trying to do something like this, normally you drive it up the ramps, so you'd have to contend with wet ramps or snow on the ramps.
It doesn't go on in snow.
It just doesn't go on at all. So now you're not nothing is weather related. So when you go to load the car on, I mean, the worst thing you might do is get wet,
Yes.
but you're not going to get hurt.
We're not going to get hurt.
You're not going to get hurt. And that's the really,
No.
really big thing, you know. When we're doing stuff like this and you're out on the road, you need to make it easy and you need to make it safe. So you leave the truck running because the hydraulic lift needs the power from the batteries to run the motor on all the hydraulics?
The initial start takes about 225 amps. To start the ramp, the hoist move when the car's on. It drops down to about 175 amps at that point. The biggest point is I have to keep the bags dumped to help stabilize the back of the truck.
Right, so it doesn't want to...
And in doing that, if you turn the key off, the bags will automatically fill.
Will they? Yeah.
So it's a dual purpose. It keeps
Right.
the bags flat, and the alternator keeps up with what's going on.
With all the electronics and
With the
everything,
draw,
it makes it,
yeah.
it run okay. Can you bring it down one more time and take it back up? Or if you're going to bring it down, leave it down? There we go. Look at that angle. That's 45, so now we're probably going to 55, 60 degrees, and the wheels are going to catch it. And then it starts going out. Paul, we're going to nickname it the Smart Lift. I mean, doesn't it make sense? Why not? Anyways, thanks for stopping by, seeing life in the slow lane. This is Paul Hoff, and this was his idea and his dream, and this is what he wanted to do to make life easier for him and his wife, Kanita, and we're really happy for him. Looks great, Paul. Thank you.